Hi. It's funny, some people say they automatically get notified, but you must not be one of them. So would you like to join and show me how your pen writes? I'm trying to figure out a way to, maybe this is how I can do it. Hello.
Back once again.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound fine to me.
Okay, I'm using the back camera on my iPad.
Right.
And I have the iPad sort of hanging off the edge of this table. So I'm just going to counterweight it with something that's a little bit. Oh my God!
Whatever works.
This is heavy. Okay, so I can pull this up further. There. So let's see your pen.
Okay. Oh, the problem is I'm sitting here in my chair, so
Well,
I'd have to set up my phone and all that to do
no,
like
you
a
can just.
paper view.
You don't have to. I mean, you could hold up the paper when you're done.
Yeah. But anyways, this is the little black hard rubber Schaefer I got.
Yeah, very sweet.
The person that sold it called it a Schaefer Junior, but I don't think they called them juniors this old, did they?
I don't think so.
Yeah. But
If
it's a little tiny thing.
uh,
What, 4.5 inches long or something? It's
yeah,
pretty dinky, but it's in super duper nice condition. The trim is all super nice. There's no brassing all over it. Like there's a spot or two of plating loss, but
yeah,
I mean, I figure this pen's probably 100 years old or close to it.
yeah.
And
Yeah. Let's see what your plating looks like in 100 years.
Yeah, exactly. I ain't gonna have no plating. I'm gonna be
Uh,
6 foot
Plateless.
underground in 100 years.
Yeah.
But it's got one of these little 325 nibs,
Yeah.
the little super thin feed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is like a sweet little pen.
Yeah. Well, that's probably the oldest pen you've got now.
It is the oldest pen I have right now.
The Craig that you might get or not, I don't know, can't remember, is similarly aged, maybe
Yeah.
5 years more modern. See, Will Hodge. My bell rang and look.
Oh, I need to switch my chat over here.
So
There we go.
Do you have your bell ringing? Have you rung the bell? Click the bell so that you're notified.
That's right. You got to smash the bell icon so you're notified.
Well, you say you're not always, but other people seem to get the bell.
Well, here's the thing with that. When I first found you, I'd been subscribed forever. And the way I saw that you were streaming that first day, you remember when I called you on the phone?
Yeah.
That was a notification that popped up.
Hey, Bartholomew.
And it was on this new computer.
Okay.
And they kept working for, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks after that. And then it started kind of getting, I don't know, periodical. And now I hardly ever get them.
Why don't you unclick the bell for a day and then click it again, maybe?
The problem is my YouTube, I'm subscribed to like over 500 people.
Oh, I see. You're such a voyeur.
I've overloaded YouTube so bad that hello, Bartholomew.
Yum.
Well, anyways, I'm gonna jot some stuff down here and give you an idea what this thing writes like.
Okay.
The nib that's on it's kind of it's got a stubby character to it. It's pretty cool.
Okay. So it's thicker on an unpressured downstroke as it is on the side stroke.
Yeah, it's kind of subtle. I mean, it's not actually a
Yeah.
stub, but it's in that direction.
Yeah. Well, that's what I call the footprint of the pen.
Right.
Where you just see what the shape of that nib is as it hits the paper. So, I have no idea whether he got him. I sent him a text earlier today via Skype. Let's see if he responded. Florian said, I said hi. He has not seen my hello. So I will assume that he did not. Well, I've been asking, I saw Denali live streaming on Instagram, and I went to her live stream and said hello in such a way as to shame her. I just said hello, but she knew what it meant. And she sort of said, "Oh, it's Pierre. I've been meaning to stream with him." So but anyway.
That was funny because I was sitting there in the other room fixing this pen here,
Yeah.
and I got a ding dong on my phone there, and it said, "Oh, Adventure Denali streaming on Instagram," and I clicked it, and like the first thing I saw was Pierre Gustafson in the chat room.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting. The two of them and the conversation was pretty high in the pen nerd barometer, but
Yes.
they did get sidetracked, which was fun. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with talking. Oh, very nice.
That's about what it can put out here.
Well, that's good. I'd call that a very sweet little 325 Schaefer hard rubber pen.
I should get out the other one that I have and see how similar they are. Because I have another tiny little flat top like this, but it's, what do they call it? Radite or whatever, the plastic?
Radite. Yeah, radite.
Oh, they're like duplicates. Just one's hard rubber and one's not.
That one's the and it is funny. Well, it isn't funny. I don't know. Maybe it isn't funny. I don't know when that hump clip happened. Now
Yeah, because this one's got the little ski
I-
slope in the
Yeah.
clip there.
and it seemed I thought that happened originally with the Streamline pens,
Yeah.
but I may be wrong. But they, after the Streamline came out, they kept on selling those flat tops. So
But this one has a I don't know if you can see it, but I think it's a later nib. It's a little 33 nib.
yeah, that's
This one's about a medium. I mean, it doesn't do anything amazing. It's just a normal medium nib.
yeah. Stibbe.
Stubbe.
Stibbe. I don't know how he wants to pronounce it. So one of the things I discovered in the sunlight that happens in this house is that the shell on this flighter is actually blue. Here I thought it was black, but that was a little surprise.
Oh, it's that really dark, like I think they called it midnight blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you? You're in search of a new find? Hey, joyful Paul Prince.
Oh, Joyful made it over here from Instagram.
Would you like to join us, Joyful?
They're
Joyful's
just showing off fountain pens.
Joyful's real name is Andrea from New Jersey, from Jersey. So whatever a Jersey
Shore.
Jersey people sound like. I was talking to Andrea the other day. Andrea, am I making it more like from Boston? Oh yeah, Andrea. Sure, I know them. They live down the block. That's from Minnesota. So Andrea, would you like to join us, Andrea? If you can, if you want to, just click that link that I posted, and I will invite you in.
I had to get one of these out last night.
You had to?
Oh yeah, big old PFM.
Oh, the PFM. Okay, that is. I thought that was. My scale wasn't working right. I thought that was that little green one you got from
That's
me.
the problem with Schaefer pens. Is like just seeing this in a picture or something. It's hard to judge that this is, not an Imperial or the million other models they made.
Yeah.
Oh, remember I was telling you about that oversized balance I got from eBay?
Yeah.
The lever was rotated 180 degrees from the nib on it.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, that's no big deal. I'll just spin it around, and line it up. So I tried to pull the section on that pen.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is stuck in there like you wouldn't believe.
Okay.
I got to looking at it with my loop.
Yeah.
Someone super glued the section in.
Oh no.
Yeah, and the pen's beautiful.
Well, if there's a way, very carefully, if there's a way that you can take the nib and feed out, you might be able to shove the nib and feed back in.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but
those feeds are tough.
It's got one of those later feeds too. That's like the more streamlined one, and I know those feeds are fragile.
Yeah, it'll break. So just pretend it's one of those rare bottom lever pens.
It's a rare bottom lever from the factory.
From the factory. It was made to look exactly
never been touched. Well, I was doing some reading and people said you can try soaking it in some water up to the barrel threads, and you can try like vinegar and stuff, but there really isn't a whole lot you can do with super glue.
No. You can send a bottle of super glue in an eye wash bottle to the person that sold you the pen.
Yeah.
Try this eye wash. free on us and see what happens. Allegedly, you can do that. I would never think you should do that actually. So I hate when this happens.
Oh yeah, that's a pain in the butt.
And why it happened, I don't know. It could have been that I was lying down horizontally with my pens in my pocket, falling asleep watching YouTube.
51s tend to be pretty good about not peeing into the cap like that, though.
Well, this might be. It could have also been from my airplane trip too.
Well, yeah, your rough handling airplane trip. It could be a lot of things.
Yeah. But I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some tissue
Okey-dokey.
paper to tissue it off.
I guess I'm left in charge again.
You're in charge. You're in charge.
Oh no, I can't handle all this responsibility. Well, I guess I've got no choice but to show off more pins, I guess. Gosh, I don't know if I have anything around here I haven't showed you guys a million times already. Here, how about some of these? Joyful says, "Are you guys showing off new pins?" Well, kind of.
New to us, but not new to the world.
Like 90% of my pins are old pins, but you know.
Hey, Sako. I'm in Minnesota right now, Sako, so I don't have anything to show you.
Any Moors? No, I do not have any Moors. But here's a really pretty standard size Schaefer balance. It's like 95% condition. It's pretty daggone nice. It's got one of these two-tone lifetime nibs.
I'm feeling okay.
Just so you guys don't think I'm a fountain pen snob, I do have other stuff like a few roller balls and. Oh, is that verboten on the channel? I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just having a mild.
Check this one out.
Back.
This is a Parker Vector roller ball, and it's got the weirdest pattern on it.
Oh, neat!
It's like dark blue and green. I've never seen another one, and this one came from Janesville,
okay,
Wisconsin.
I wonder
and
if
at the same time I bought this, I also bought a Jotter pen. Actually, let me grab it real quick.
I wonder whether that was made for a particular company, and those are the company colors.
It's either that or it's a prototype.
Okay.
And the reason I think that is because of this. These all came from the same person.
Oh.
They were selling tons of different Parkers.
Okay.
I have this Jotter.
Okay.
With sincere gratitude for your years of service to the Parker Pen Company.
Okay.
I found out later they gave this pen out at the retirement dinner when they closed the Janesville factory.
Oh, dear.
They gave one of these out to all the employees that were still left.
Well, I'm glad they spent so much money on them.
Yeah, isn't that cheapy? Like they gave out their absolute cheapest pen they made to everyone.
Yes.
Like I would have been offended had I worked for Parker for 50 years or something, and all I got was a shitty ballpoint.
Oh, okay. Great, Tasha. How do they work? I think now all of the packages I sent have made it to their locations.
They are all accounted for.
They're all accounted for, yeah. Is that your?
I showed this to Bartholomew the other day, Pierre.
Yeah. a Mont Blanc rollerball or something?
It's a ballpoint,
Okay.
but check this out.
Yeah. The Parker?
That's a Parker refill.
Yeah.
This is a counterfeit Mont Blanc.
Okay.
My grandpa gave it to me.
Oh, well, it's okay. He bless his heart.
Oh, he knew it wasn't a real one too. He kind of gave it to me as a joke.
Okay.
And like, it's actually kind of a nice pin. It's like made out of metal. It's way heavier than a real one.
Yeah.
But the little snowflake on the end is like painted on.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I'm going to get myself a fake beer. Can you imagine?
A fake beer. Yeah.
Just because it's the closest I can do to being celebratory.
Celebratory.
Yeah. To get finished in one of our storage trailers where you can try. What do you mean you can't try them out? Because you need more room there, Tasha? Or is that where the ink is? Or
If I got a box full of new fountain pens, I would be trying them all out if I lived in a cardboard box.
yes, yeah, I don't have the ability to do the slow reveal or save something for
I am patient enough to wait though.
any maybe Todd action. No, there's not really much action.
Well, you'd be disappointed in my collection because I've got, all my pins are mostly vintage, but I'm like 40s, 50s, 60s is where my focus is.
I'll be back in a second.
As far as like cool stuff from the 20s and 30s and whatnot, I don't have a great deal of that. I would like to at some point, but Tasha says I'm sitting in the car at the moment. Well, it's a little difficult to ink up fountain pens while you're sitting in a vehicle, I'd imagine. So no ink or paper. Yeah, that would make it a little difficult. Yeah, gosh, I don't even know what to do. Pierre keeps leaving me alone on the stream. I get to run everything. Well, I guess I'll just keep showing you guys pins then. Why not? I don't think I've showed this off before. This is a little Parker Challenger, and it's like a ladies version. It's pretty comparable to the size of this tiny little Schaefer. It's pretty tiny. But this little Parker is super cool. It's got a pretty like green marble celluloid. It's really super pretty in the white. Bartholomew says ink up everything. But it's got a little tiny nib on it or whatever.
What do you mean, or whatever?
What?
There's a nib on it or whatever. It hasn't.
Well, it's a tiny little nib because it's a tiny little pen.
I see.
Yeah. Sorry, I get nervous and you leave me alone on the stream, Pierre.
Okay, yes.
I feel like I have like these really big shoes to fill and I'll never be able to do it. That's a little button filler. Yeah, this nib's pretty cool because it's really soft and it's borderline semi-flex.
It's a Challenger?
Yeah, a little Challenger. I'd love to find a normal size Challenger.
Well, I might have one.
Oh, here's something else weird. A little Parker VS.
Yeah.
Looks like a 51 until you take the cap off.
No.
And it's got a normal open nib and that really crazy clear feed.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, they're not so great. I mean, they work, but
here's what I have with the terracotta color.
Oh yeah, they call it the rust color or something.
But I put a 51 cap on it.
Yeah.
Because What's happening in your house? Drama. Sounds like human
I
drama.
don't know what's happening. Everybody else is wiling out in the other room. Now they're making fun of me.
Don't draw attention to yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't. I'm live on the internet. Now what are you writing? Oh, a Triumph.
This is the largest size Triumph. Which,
Yeah, that one that you sent me is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, here's something weird. This is a modern-ish, I guess you could say. It's a Parker.
Yeah.
This is a Parker 100.
Okay.
It's got this weird little hooded nib thing.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's super weird. Yeah, I'm showing my hooded nibs on the internet.
It looks like it was made by the Electrolux vacuum cleaner company. That little.
It's a super
nozzle.
bizarre pen. It's like really, I don't know. It's a little bit too thick. It's a little too heavy. It's weird. I barely even used it.
Well, that's the one that you give to your grandpa.
Yeah, I'll say, here you go. Thanks for the fake Mont Blanc. Have this. Oh, you was showing me those Parker 17s or the Super Duo Fold.
Yeah.
Here's that little Parker 17 lady that I have
Okay.
that has the little. And the little nib on this thing is like, I don't know. It's like a medium, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But the Parker nibs from England, for some reason, were like the tipping on them is super huge. But it's got like a little baby aerometric filler in here. It's like tiny sized. Like, this is a really fun pen to write with. It's too daggone small for my hands.
Yeah. Let's see how this one survived the. I don't have my ink up here. Kitty. Oh yes, I know.
Oh, what is that? A wall Eversharp of some kind? Oh,
The Brazilian green.
that's pretty. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot about pens I hardly ever knew anything about, Pierre.
Yeah.
Oh man, you did bring some cool stuff with you, didn't you?
This is my Franken pen that.
I was going to say that does not look like a normal nib.
Yeah, it's a.
Wow.
It's like a number 8 size, maybe.
I was going to say that is huge. That is most impressive. Tasha says, I like the look of the aerometric style fillers.
When people like Adventure and the UK guy, whatever his name is, when they show the cartridge converter, my heart sinks all the time I see those things. They just don't seem like they would hold very much ink.
They don't hold very much ink, and it's really tedious to use them, especially for cleaning out a pen. I do not get why they're so popular.
Yeah, I don't get it either. It seems to me that they could make one that,
whereas
a lot better. Like,
I mean, this is dead simple, super easy to use, easy to clean. It lasts virtually forever. I mean,
that would be great, Tasha, if that was possible. Because all of the mechanism, there's so much mechanism in one of those piston fill screw systems that it could hold at least twice as much ink if you didn't do that. My brother is coming home. I see him.
Well, here's one of my favorite 51s. It's I think this is like an earlier, like a 1949, 1950-ish
Yeah.
Aerometric. And I don't know what the nib is on this thing, if you can see it, but it's about like a medium nib.
Yeah.
This it's probably the best writing 51 I have out of all of them.
Okay. Well, it'd be interesting to, again, one day in the fullness of time, when we
Right.
actually meet people face to face, it would be good to, hand you a bunch of pens and see if what you see through your eyes and what I see through my eyes. And
I was having a conversation with Bartholomew there in the chat the other night,
Mhm.
and I was remarking to him how I've always found that Parker nibs in general sort of have this almost greasy feel to the nibs,
okay.
whereas Schaefer pens have almost a velvety feel to the nibs. They have like the different brands have their own unique, almost like signature, and I think it's due to whatever material the actual tipping is made out of.
Okay.
It's the only thing I can figure.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if I've felt that, but
I know it's a really vague, weird description, but it's just something that I've noticed.
so look at
Now
this.
that I have a little bit of experience.
Here's a 51 Aerometric, and this is sort of a standard line it makes, unpressured, but it's almost a flexible.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's really good at line variation out of the 51.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I would say that's exceptional, actually.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like it's going to do that at all. In fact,
Right.
I wonder whether this is. I'm just wondering if this is a 51 special with a steel nib.
A lot of the 51 specials I have had gold nibs in them.
Yeah, the pen says that it's a 51 special, but I think it's a gold nib, but I need to look in the light.
Yeah,
But
it is really hard to tell. That would be nice for journaling, is what Will said.
yeah. Dear Diary.
Well, I am definitely still a flex nib newbie, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. And I find that the few flex pens that I have, when I do try to write with them in my journal, my hand gets a little more tired than normal.
Okay. Well, you might be trying to.
I feel like I'm overcompensating somehow.
You might be thinking too hard.
Yeah, I'm keeping my hand too tense or something.
Yeah. So just treat it like treat it as if it isn't flexible, and just see if you get some. Anyway.
Oh, Bartholomew says that's all the break I can take. Back to work.
Okay. I'm going to look at this pen under some light that I can see what color this is.
Well, have a good one, Bartholomew. But in terms of pins with flex, I guess you could say, this one's kind of been a favorite here lately. It's this burgundy red Skyline that I have. And so hard with the stupid camera on this Mac, because I see the little green light on, when the camera's on, and I'm always trying to hold stuff up to the camera and I can never line it up right. But anyways, the nib on this thing's got a pretty decent amount of flex to it. But I find writing with this one is pretty easy comparatively. Will says, love the Skylines. I have a couple. Yeah, me too. The Skylines are really cool pins.
I think it's a steel nib that I've got in that 51, which sort of surprises me, but okay, what do I have for Skylines? I've got 2 Skylines here.
Oh, Pierre's got some Skylines as well.
I brought some back with me, and I think both of these might have been in my sale bin, but maybe not. I can't remember.
I have a couple that I could show off as well.
Well, why don't
Little
you?
Demi. This one's this one's like just a normal medium.
Yeah,
A little nib that says Ever Sharp, like a little banner.
yeah.
Oh, is that striped green cap? Those are pretty.
Yeah.
This other one's super weird. It's another Demi Skyline, but this is the one that has this nib is like a needle tip.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
It's like unbelievably fine. Like if you go like that, it's almost sharp feeling.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is sharp, almost like a pen. And the amazing thing is, if on paper, as sharp and fine as it is, it feels like amazingly smooth.
Uh-huh.
That's what always impresses me when you have like super fine nibs that are still really smooth at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you have any of these things, Pierre? The little symphony pens?
Symphony pens?
Yeah.
I have a few.
I got this one. It's pretty cool. You see the levers kind of
the levers
flopping around a little.
Have that issue often. The floppy lever syndrome.
Floppy lever syndrome. This one's going to get donated to Bartholomew.
Oh, well, he'll like
a little
that.
Pretty wall ring top. And he wanted it because it has a pretty fine nib on it.
Oh, good.
It says wall signature.
Okay.
14K. What is the wall signature nib? Does that mean it's something special?
Not necessarily. It was a series that they did where you could select the nib to match your signature, and they had maybe 12 different points. They were like the Esterbrook nibs, where you could
screw okay.
out, and not all of them screw in and out, but that one might.
It looks just like a normal
feed
nib and feed to me, but it might be a screw one. I ain't gonna twist it and find out.
No, but the signature was their a little shtick they did with their gold seal pens, and again, it was just something that they were doing to try to compete with some market or other.
So I guess the signature is more of a marketing term rather than it designates the nib as being one particular thing or another.
Well, they did have a. I'm going to try to find something here. Well,
since we're on here, I'll do a couple more writing samples with some of the pens I have inked up.
Signature nib point. Add.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
The cat heard me talking to my computer again, so she had to come over here and investigate.
It seems to me that your cat has there's other people in your house that could be entertained.
No, it's my kitty though, so she loves me. It's almost like she gets jealous or something that my attention is now focused on
Someone
something
else.
that's other than her.
Yeah.
I seen an issue of Pin World down there on your screen there, Pierre. As you
Oh,
scroll by.
oh, was it? What I'm trying to find is signature nib
Oh, come on.
advertisement.
You're blocking my writing light here, kitty cat. Watch out. There we go.
Visit. Okay, what does this say? Mandarin red. No, that's not helping me.
Well, here's the writing sample from that green PFM I just showed you.
Okay.
It's a pretty chunky medium.
Yeah.
All the PFMs I have are all medium for some reason. I would love to find one that was like an extra fine or something, but maybe someday. Well, and PFMs are so daggone expensive to begin with. Like the ones I had, I would have never bought them had they not been as cheap as they were.
Well, there's an ad anyway. If you look under, magazine ads for Eversharp, you might, if you type in the right word.
There's like an actual advertisement showing like the signature nib line and all the different ones you could pick
I think
from.
so.
Yeah.
Well, personal point. That was what it was called.
Personal point.
And why couldn't I think that point? Advertisement. Personal point. That's what they were called. Okay. So here you go. Look at this. Oh, fuck. eBay. It sends me to eBay.
Oh, somebody's selling a damn
So
magazine.
Here's the thing, so it has,
they were little replaceable.
Yeah. And they made, it looks like 1,
That's
2,
a lot
3,
of them.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 different ones.
Wow.
Right oblique, fine flexible, broad flexible, left oblique, half stub, fine signature, medium signature, broad signature, fine manifold, medium manifold, broad manifold, ball point, full stub, medium flexible. So that's what they're called. Benjamin Cole, who is pictured here, whoever this is, that's Benjamin Cole, whoever he
Hello,
is.
Benjamin Cole.
So from these 14 Eversharp personal points, he picked the half stub. So anyway, that's what they were.
What is a half stub? Just like a narrower stub?
I presume.
That's kind of a strange name.
Yeah.
Here's the Mont Blanc 146 here. This is like an 80s version of it. I think somebody sent this pin back to Mont Blanc and had him fix it up or something, because the pin is from 1988 for sure, because the guy said that he bought it in 1988 and he's had it the whole time.
Okay.
But it has a later barrel on it with the lines in the window.
Yeah.
It has an old nib.
Okay.
but it has a plastic feed. So like the plastic feed in this barrel don't go with the rest of this pen.
Oh, those shifty pen salesmen at Mont Blanc. Bait and switch.
Well, yeah, when you send them a pen to fix, they'll, reuse what parts they can, and that's how a lot of them end up as mismatches.
Neville, would you like to join us? Div Oris?
Nibs galore. We got even little Stumpy Triumph nibs. Here's a question for you, Pierre. I may have asked you this before, but do you have any Vacuumatic nibs?
I might have a couple. Why do you need one? Is your
Well, I have this pen and it's super cool. It's a really pretty silver pearl.
Yeah.
Major. And the nib that's on it is worn down to almost the gold. Like there's not very much tipping left on this at all.
Okay.
So I was thinking if I could find another nib for this, I like this pen so much, it would be worth it. But I mean, if you've only got a couple nibs, I won't.
Well, no, I can.
One.
Happy to sell you one.
But if you got one of the nibs that go on a major,
yeah, I
really don't even care what it is. If it's a fine, medium, broad, whatever.
Yeah.
MBUSA. Oh, is that the address for like Mont Blanc? Oh, needs a good sack. Look for a Canadian nib. I can't remember. I think one of my Vacuumatics is a Canadian one. I don't think it's this one. But yeah, this one has a brand new diaphragm in it. And it's one of these second gen ones with, it's not a lockdown, but it's the metal
Speedline.
Yeah, Speedline. I never remember the names of them. But I mean, in terms of the materials pens are made out of, this stripy, shiny celluloid's pretty hard to beat, in my opinion. They're so cool looking. I mean, this kind of stripy celluloid is pretty cool too, but it just doesn't shine in the light like the Parkers did, I don't think. Oh, we're going on a road trip with Pierre, it looks like.
Moving to the couch.
Oh. So how's your counterfeit beer?
It's almost makes me think I'm an adult again and I can drink sensibly.
Yeah, when they have those beer commercials and they're like, please drink responsibly. Here's my libation of the evening. It's a little stubby Coca-Cola.
It's a half stub, just like Benjamin Cole's half stub.
It's a half stub. Brought to you by Benjamin Cole.
Effextinol, partnering with Benjamin Cole says
Effextinol Industries
cured my diarrhea. However, constipation is no better.
Oh, I wish I had all those other pens you'd sent me. Do you know that one that was the weird? It had like a Parker cap, but we weren't sure what it was. It has like a little fingernail nib.
Yeah.
I cleaned that one out this morning. Was messing around with it, and that is the nib on that thing is crazy fun.
Yeah. No, it looked like it would be.
Yeah.
And but again, pens like that are way more modern than I normally know or understand, and maybe a little too modern for me to try to get into. But I am changing my mind. I'm
Yeah.
still using that Parker 45 with that really fine nib with our governor, Wendell R. Anderson's, I don't know when he was a governor, but Minnesota Governor Anderson name on the side of it. So I'm having fun. From my favorite color inks is Diamine Oxblood. Do you have any recommendations? Something similar color? Um, I don't. I'm afraid. I don't. My inks are almost always Waterman and almost always black um, to match my soul. But other people probably Ms. Marilyn Darling, or if you don't know Marilyn Darling, Joyful, she's on here quite often, and she has a YouTube channel as well where she does ink tests and ink reviews on different kinds of
I
paper.
don't have too many inks myself either. Basically stay to blacks and blues generally because most of my writing is just journaling more or less. But I know a few of the Diamine inks. They just came out with a new Diamine ink called Writer's Blood. That's like a darker version of Ox Blood from what I've seen. So you might want to check out that new Writer's Blood ink. It looks pretty cool.
It's made from actual writer's
It's
blood.
actual writers were bled dry and bottled
Yes,
for
leeches
your writing enjoyment.
leeches were applied to
The leeches.
many
That's right.
writers,
We'll put the leeches on you.
and they were subsequently pried off and uh, slaughtered to make this ink.
But anyway, it's one of those inks that every year they do this thing on Reddit where they let the people on Reddit like choose a new Diamine ink color. And like one of the colors they chose before was that Aurora Borealis color. And I have a little tiny bottle of that, and it's like a really weird greenish teal color. It's a really cool color of ink. But the Writer's Blood one was from it was the one that was picked for last year, anyways. What is it? The r/fountain pens forum or whatever it is on Reddit. But yeah, that seems to be a pretty popular thing now. A lot of people have compared it favorably to Ox Blood. Joyful says they have a small bottle of that as well. Yeah, that Aurora Borealis is super cool. Like in terms of like red inks and purples and browns and greens and all that sort of stuff, I really don't get into that a whole lot. Because like Pierre, I pretty much use Waterman inks. I use Parker inks. I have like a couple random bottles of other stuff. I have like a couple bottles of Diamine ink, like Onyx Black and Majestic Blue. I have a bottle of just regular Mont Blanc black ink. I have one single bottle of Noodler's ink, which is the anti-feathering ink or whatever.
It's the Antichrist ink.
Antichrist ink. It's bringing 1,000 years of terror and darkness on the planet.
Yeah, that's the ink.
Oh, there's something else I was going to mention. There's one ink though that I wanted to mention. And Pierre, you might even be interested in this too. Around about a year ago, I got a bottle of this platinum carbon ink.
Yeah, I use it. I have used
Oh,
it.
okay. Well, what are your opinions on it?
It seems to flow fine. I've only put it in the Nathan's Noodler's Boston safety pen.
Yeah.
Whatever he calls it. So, but it seems to do what it's supposed to do, which is be waterproof and also flow through the pen, which it does just fine. It seems to function as advertised. It's
Yeah, I have to say I was really impressed with that stuff too. I tried it out in a few different pens that I have. I had it in like a 51 and something else. And yeah, I have to say it was pretty nice. The only like negative downside to that ink that I found is because it's basically like microscopic particles of carbon, which is basically soot. Uh, Even after you clean it out of a pen, sometimes you'll still see like the remnants of like a little bit of a sooty kind of deposit on like the feet of your pen.
uh-huh.
So maybe like, some vintage pens or something where you don't really want to tear them apart to deep clean them all the time may not be a good choice for that. But
Yeah, I don't know um, whether I would use it in a real fountain pen. One that I can easily take completely apart.
yeah,
And,
stuff that you can take apart and scrub and clean it as much as you want.
if I maybe
It's awesome for that.
a, a eyedrop fill pen, maybe
Yeah, I don't think I'd put it in a snorkel is what I'm trying to say.
you would not put that in snorkel.
Yeah. Instead of sitting here running my mouth more, I should probably do another couple writing samples here and show some of these pens off.
Yes, of course.
Because it's one thing to just look at a pen, but that's not what they were made to do, is to look at.
No. I'm drawing this lantern again on my iPad.
Man, every time I use this thing, I'm amazed at how awesome this nib is. It's that little brown Schaefer with the gold cap he sold me.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, the nib is like NOS. I mean, it's as new as it gets.
That's the one that has the pencil.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, I was thinking about that pen today, and again, it's a pen that I must have realized was somehow rare so that's why it was in my collection. But because I really don't know that color doesn't happen in that era pen.
I've read before that they quit making this. They called it burnt umber, this brown color, in normal pens, and they only used it in the desk pens past a certain point, like right around 1950 or something.
Yeah.
So whatever this is, it predates the snorkel and all that sort of stuff. But here's the little pencil that came with it.
Yeah.
The pencil's kind of messed up. The little mechanism in here slips on the cap, but if you take the cap off and turn this, the pencil works just fine. Because that's the weird thing, like the pencil's really worn out, but the pen's like unused basically.
Yeah.
But anyways, here's the writing sample of what that little brown pen does.
Nice. Cool.
That's pretty sweet. I mean, it's, a lifetime nib, so of course it's rigid. There isn't any real flex to speak of. But yeah, when I was saying the Schaefers kind of have like a velvety feel to them, this is definitely one that conforms to that notion, in my opinion. What else can I do here? We'll do this little red Triumph that I have. That'll be something good to do. For some reason last night I was really bored, and I'm sure you're all familiar with this. You go on YouTube, start watching something, and then some other video will start playing afterwards, and you go down this like weird YouTube rabbit hole where
Yeah.
after like an hour you end up watching like videos completely unrelated to the thing you started watching.
Yeah.
Well, I did that last night, and I ended up on old classic cartoons like Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies.
Okay. Yeah.
And the one that ended up playing was a bunch of these old cartoons that were made during World War II with super racist
Oh,
caricatures of Germans and Japanese
oh
and it
dear.
was crazy because I remember watching them when I was a little kid, and it was just a cartoon back then.
And now you realize the
It's just a little weirder watching it now as an adult, and you get the little things they slip in there, in the cartoons, like stuff that never would have meant anything to you as a kid. But I mean, cartoons like that were designed to be watched by adults at the time. They weren't for kids.
oh,
Who is Mortimer? Will Hodges is asking. I always want to call Will Hodges for some reason, and I don't know why.
you're thinking about Will Hodges' pen. That's it. You're thinking about him in a possessive way.
Yeah, it's always possessive, so I'm adding an S on the end or something.
I think you're just you're objectifying his objects.
Objectifying. Oh, the original Mickey Mouse. Another one that I saw last night was from like 1939, and it had Bugs Bunny in it before Bugs Bunny was Bugs Bunny. He was like the prototype bunny.
Oh,
It was a cartoon. It was called Harem Scarum. Actually, I remember the name of it even. And after watching all the stupid cartoons, I was like, oh, I wonder if there's any of the Foghorn Leghorn cartoons on here. And I went looking for them, and I couldn't find any. They had some that were like these compilations that they made that the WB channel uploaded. And I was like, I want to watch the cartoon, not like little bits and pieces from a bunch of them. Anyways, that was a pretty fun diversion last night. Anyways, here's the that little red Triumph that I have right here.
yeah, good.
It's a pretty fine.
Yeah.
Well, both these about right identically. This is a 51 Vacuumatic, and then there's that silver Vacuumatic. So yeah, Will was saying that was his name in the old cartoons is Mortimer. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
Well, I bet you my mom or brother would have known that because they're like total Disney fanatics. Here's a question for you, Pierre.
Yeah.
On these Vacuumatics, did all of these nibs come two-toned originally and just they wear off? Or what?
I don't know the answer to that, I'm afraid.
I've always wondered that.
I do not know the answer.
Because out of all the Vacuumatics I have, this one still has a little bit of its original plating on it. It's hard to tell on the camera, but in good light, you can see that it used to be two-tone, but all the other ones I have are just plain gold.
I have a feeling that there must
I
have been.
bet you only some of them were.
Um, yeah, I think some were. Oh, Russell Face Myers doing some more puppetry.
Russell is indeed the puppet master. Sorry for being too quiet.
No, it's fine. I'm just looking at Russell's puppets.
Here's the little silver vacuumatic here.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is like a vacuumatic thing in general, but a lot of them that I have are rather wet writers.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how they're supposed to be, or?
I don't think necessarily so. No.
Well, I mean, it's not like, overly crazy. Like I have a blue one that puts down too much ink, honestly, but I've just noticed it seems like the ink flow on Vacuumatics tends to be higher than normal, like higher than I would consider normal for a 51.
I'll have to study them more.
Oh, I started hearing some. I just barely saw your ukulele there. I didn't know where it was coming from.
Oh, for sure, don't you know, you betcha, you're a maiden said to me as she gave me language lessons on the beach at Waikiki. Annika, Vicky, Vicky, she was only teasing me. You must. Anyway, it's a song about the Waikiki pier beach at Waikiki. I changed the. Did I play for you the?
Actually, the one time I heard you play it, it was the ones with the lyrics you had made up.
The dirty lyrics.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, don't you know, you betcha, sweet blonde maiden said to me as she gave me second helpings at the Lutheran Jamboree. Oh, for sure, don't you know, you betcha, she was only teasing me. You must save room for the Jello at the Lutheran Jamboree. Natural blondes wearing plaid at a potluck is what you'd expect to see, while praising God Almighty at a Lutheran Jamboree. Heineken, Amstel, and Budweiser, beer flowed oh so easily. Had to find the restroom at the Lutheran Jamboree. Then it gets dirty.
Woo! Woo! Happy hour at the coast of Sin Estate. Mimosa are served. What is mimosa?
Mimosas are, see if I remember what they were. Mimosa has orange juice and champagne.
I knew it was a drink of some kind, but yeah.
Champagne and orange juice? Sounds awful. Thinking about it.
Yeah, it does. All the champagne's kind of awful though in its own way, so. Did you bring that ukulele with you, Pierre?
No, I have two that are here,
Oh,
and one I bought, I kept here. The other one I bought one here that I brought back. So I swapped. But occasionally I'll play with someone else here. So I wanted to have two that were here.
well, I don't know if it's the microphone on your, because you're still using your iPad right now, right?
Huh?
It
Yes.
just seemed to me that your ukulele sounded a little bit better on this than it did when you were doing it at home.
Okay. It might be.
Because it actually sounds pretty good, honestly.
Kitty. Van Gogh is trying to figure out what's going on here.
Get you good and lubricated.
And a splash of pineapple juice. Oh, look. See the back here?
Oh, cool. Treble clef.
Treble clef that I had forgotten. My brother, he also made another one up here, little one, at the top.
Yeah.
And up here. My brother had this laser cutting device and laser burner.
Right.
And
Like an engraver, but with lasers.
God, ouch. Anyway, he wanted me to test. He wanted me to do something for forget what the heck it was, but we set it on the table and it was working away and burning into the thing. And I said, "Well, can you do it on the back of my ukulele?" And he said, "Yes." So it's I drew the treble clef in Photoshop or something, and then he just worked from a JPEG, and it worked fine. Didn't cut all the way in.
Well, that's pretty cool because, from a JPEG, it would have had to have turned that into vectors and then tool paths.
Yeah, no, this. I mean, I could have made it in vector. I could have given it.
Yeah, because those laser machines are like, they work the same way like a CNC router or anything else would work.
Then it probably was that. But I remember. I don't know. I did something on that I gave him a JPEG for.
Is that a fancy ukulele or like just a normal one?
It was one I bought. First one I bought is this one, and it was, I don't know, $100 maybe. But the pineapple one, I'll just go get that. It actually is pretty. It was $35, and it sounds really good, I think. So let me be right back.
I was just thinking, like, I know a little bit about guitars and stuff in terms of, fancy ones. I used to have a bunch of friends that were into local bands and whatnot. And they would always go on and on about, especially like old vintage electric guitars. But I don't know anything about ukuleles, so I don't know what's a good one or a bad one or any of that sort of thing. So who all do we still have in chat at the moment? I know we got Will in here. Is Tasha still around? Well, it says we have 8 people watching. The only person listed as participants is just Will. I guess it's just me and you then, buddy. Just me and Will holding down the fort. Yeah, this little dinky Schaefer is pretty cool. I think the nib's going to need a little bit more work on it, but oh yeah, Tasha is definitely there.
Okay, did one on this one too. So this is a pineapple one. So
Cool.
Shaped
Yeah,
like
it doesn't have the cutaways. It almost looks like a mini mandolin or something weird. Oh, is that like a little tuner thing you clip to it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. Tasha says, I'm enjoying my new pens.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to come on one of these days and let us know how you like them. That one does have a very different sound to it.
It what?
It has a very different sound to it. Yeah, the pineapple one's like a little more resonant.
This is a little shriller.
Yeah, shrill's a good description.
This is a little muffled. But they're both pretty good, I think. So, would you like to sign in and show us the pens, Tasha? Join us and show. I'd like to see how you write with the two flexible nibs. And their little Schaefer is really, really fine.
Yeah, I've just been recently getting into much finer nibs myself, so because until I met Pierre, I thought I was having fun with
You thought you
big
were having
broad nibs and everything.
You've been missing out on it a lot.
I have been, honestly. Being Pierre's friend has opened my eyes to this whole new world that I didn't know I was missing.
Well, again, getting people interested in flexible is easy because it's sort of a no-brainer. Once you try it, you're stuck. But
Right.
learning why thin and fine might be fun is good. And again, much of it's just dealing with fine, real fine, meaning vintage fine, is so much finer than modern fine that you're dealing with a completely different kettle of fish. So, Tasha, how are they?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Okay.
Though my roommate currently has one of them.
I see. Well, what did you think of the fine red one?
There's roommate over at her desk.
Hello, Evelyn.
I think she's got the red one at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is really, really fine.
It is fine. It has a slight, tiny bit of flex to it.
The green one is an awesome, just straight steel nib vintage pen.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
The
green Schaefer.
The green Schaefer. Yes.
Yeah, that's a fine line pen. Yeah. It's
and I'm using the most gentle ink that I have, which is the Noodler's. Oh God, what is this? Lexington Gray.
okay. And what is it doing for you?
It's flowing fine. It doesn't have a habit of drying out. Hi, Parker. Hey, Parker.
Hi, everyone.
I always think of Noodler's ink being a little thicker and less.
Hi, Mitch.
Hello.
Oh, as
Hi,
far as
Tia.
flowing, if I have a pen that has a problem flowing, I throw my 54th Massachusetts in it, and that'll tell me if it's the nib or it's the ink.
Okay.
Because that 54th mass, it just likes spitting out of anything you put it in.
Okay.
I love it.
And what about the two flexible ones then?
The two flexible ones. This one.
Yeah,
I love.
that's the off-brand one. Yeah.
That's the off-brand one. Absolutely love. It's like
Okay.
the second I started writing with that, I'm like, yes.
The other one is similar, but maybe a little less flexible.
Yeah.
And it does have that little bent nib.
Yeah, and it doesn't bother me at all.
I
I
didn't
mean,
think, but it's just it's.
I mean, it would literally take me probably 30 minutes, and I could fix that. But I'm like, why? It's perfect. It writes fine.
Well, that's probably why I didn't fix it. Sometimes, in trying to make
It's like,
it really smooth, you end up screwing them up. So
it's like, look, if it works, there's no point in fixing it.
No. Anyway, I just wanted you to try the difference between those two flexible nibs is vast. You know,
Vast.
one
I
is
love this one
and,
infinitely more.
yeah. Okay.
Infinitely more.
The other might be if you were a sketcher and wanted to do drawings outside in a thunderstorm. The other one might be good because
Yeah.
you wouldn't have to worry about it so much.
That's a
It's
very
just
specific
little-
environment.
A little
Yes.
sturdier than the other one. So Parker, how are you doing? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'm
50-50.
so
Parker's in between. It's still sexy as ever.
I canceled my surgery date too, so that was meant to be yesterday.
Okay.
So I'm going to reschedule because it was a lot of conflicting everything, and
Aww.
so yeah, I'm going to
Parker.
try and reschedule for maybe a month from now
Parker.
and be
Don't make me
mentally
yell at
prepared. And maybe I'll own a home in Minnesota.
All my modern pens, because yeah, they don't belong here.
I have one last weird show and tell.
Yeah.
What's
My
that?
mom and brother found this at Goodwill the other day.
Yeah.
It's the handle off of like an old ladle or something
Okay.
that's been turned into a ballpoint pen.
That's cool.
And it's like really heavy, like pewter or something.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to show you some weirder things. But
It's like the handle of an old butter knife or something.
It does look like an old steak knife or a butter knife. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Tasha, I know you can hear me. Tell Evie to message me. But how are you doing, Pia? Like, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Like mentally, physically, you're doing well.
I'm doing okay.
I've been worried about you.
Physically, I'm okay. Mentally, I'm doing okay. I'm.
One moment, switching faces.
It's fine.
I've been very worried about you. Very.
Well, don't worry about me yet.
Sit,
Yeah.
enjoy.
You know, the discussion about what will happen to the house eventually might end up being tough, but we'll.
I was there listening to that little stream about the birds, and so I was like, And I was like, will y'all take a cash payment?
Huh?
Will y'all take a cash payment?
For the house? Sure. As long as we can live here. Tasha, Tasha. No, I'm sorry, Tasha. Evie.
Evie.
Evelyn. Eve. How do you like the red pen?
The red pen, I like it so far.
Very, very fine.
I've not tried too many pens, but as far as like fine pens, I've always liked them the most.
Now that little red one, I thought was really, really sweet. And is able to have a little bit of flex if you press down. So if you look at the paper that I sent with it, you'll be able to see where I recommend its range. Don't go further than that, but also try to get as fine as I got it. Sometimes that's because you have to lift up on the pen, off the paper almost.
Can I ask a
Steve
question?
Ellie, you want to buy the house here? You want a vacation house in Minnesota?
I will privately message you about some things.
Okay. No, I
You'll Western Union over the money right away.
I'm not paying their fees, bitch. But
Okay, fine, a direct bank transfer.
no,
a
we
check.
can talk about it. It's just it's a decision that has to be
Of
made.
course. Like I'm not putting my dick on the table and being like, sell it.
Yeah,
You know, like I'm not that kind of person.
you know.
Wow. But
I have a battery, I just don't know.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
I'm just looking at like
It's
Talk.
Maybe
Be interactive.
What's the difference between a fine and an extra fine nib?
No, it won't.
well, extra
Well, I don't know what to do with
finer.
it.
Then if it's no good, then I throw it out.
I don't know if it's no good.
I will test it.
It's just generally the
That's
line
in
that's
my
on the paper.
Oh, I can.
Yes, go away. She
Um,
is.
Extra fine is finer than fine. Extra fine is finer than extra fine.
Oh,
So
there's an extra.
there's always something that you can find that's finer. But
Right.
back in the days, there are pens that I collect and that Affextinol collects, and to some extent Friedrich collects.
Cartridges.
This is an era when they did not really designate on the pen what kind of nib it would have. They would go into the pen store. It was like buying a suit. You wouldn't just get something off the rack. They would measure you, and they would see a suit. So these days, modern pen people want you to buy something off the rack. So they make 4 different kinds of pens.
What's dirty? There's not poop, mother. You got ladybugs.
And the finest extra fine pen nib that's made today is a lot hotter than the fine nibs of the olden days. So
Okay. So if I was to buy a pen, or a nib, whatever, what you pen fuckers do? So can I get an extra fine? Or does it go extra fine and then extra fine and then extra fine, or is it just
But-
stops at
no,
two?
it depends on who's selling them, how they label things. If you
Yeah, it's really confusing because one pen's extra fine might be a fine or medium for another kind of pen.
Japanese extra fine pens are more finer than American ones. So
So if the different brands, so say I'm just gonna just forgive me because I'm not a pen person.
yeah,
So say a Parker and then a Schaefer, say they have an extra fine, and then they have a okay. So would that extra fine like be a fine to a medium and a Schaefer? Like that's just an example.
if you got 10 modern fountain pens that all had extra fine points on them, you'd probably have 10 different line weights. Just because
I don't know what that means.
there's not a standard. There's no
I'll give you an example. I have a modern Pelican made pen
With the cap
made in
on it.
Germany,
No.
and with
The
an
other
extra
end.
fine Pelican that's brand
They're too
new
short to write with
is
without
similar
caps.
to like a medium nib from
It's a small
the old
pen.
days.
There you go.
Because a lot of the older pens were way finer than the modern ones for some reason.
Right.
I just noticed in chat there that Will Hodge wrote, "Mitch, thanks for sharing your pens. I learned something new from you when you're on."
It's fine.
You're welcome, Will. I'm glad you.
You be very careful.
This pin?
Well,
Right,
well, I
good.
hope I,
Yes, it does.
I'm just like,
like the questions that I invoke.
The caps on them.
You know,
Cap on. No. Thank you.
Tasha,
with the
Tasha,
right people.
Tasha.
Tasha
Thank
or Evie?
I'm going to mute you because you're talking to each other.
When you put the cap on, it makes it long.
There. They're muted.
They'll come up and be like,
Yeah, they can. We can come back, Tasha. We were not able to hear each other because you were.
Yeah, we
talking.
were all talking over each other.
"Oh my God, Pia,
Yes. Yes.
Gustafsson."
Yes.
I can't. It was just like affectional. I couldn't pronounce that, but now I can. I'll get there.
Okay.
But I lost what I was. Oh, bitch. Oh, me falling asleep.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to everyone. I don't know who was on the chat. I think we can unmute Tasha.
Okay.
I'm back.
We're back. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
turned
remember.
on a computer and it was like
Were you
some
there, Nick?
setup message. So
No,
No. I passed out live on stream. Like I was like, and then all of a sudden I was just like this.
it's just like,
And
it's
I
like yeah,
and P is just in his own world,
so embarrassed.
and he's just like, oh no.
Well, no, I knew you had fallen asleep, but you were. It was. I didn't know if you were going to wake up, and I didn't.
I wasn't. I was Xanaxed out. You could have at least drawn me.
I ended up just removing you physically from the chat, and then
ooh, he got banhammered.
And then the video got removed.
I removed it as you and Freddie
And,
asked.
and my lawyers asked as well.
I didn't know,
Fine.
but I did get multiple, but I wasn't able to do it immediately because I couldn't do it.
Oh no! I'm no. Like you do what you need to do in your time. Like I'm not like, like Affectional, do this now. Like I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah.
There's probably a thing on the internet where
Later.
people
You're a do
watch
this
other
later
people
kind of
sleep.
guy.
There is. There is. Those do exist.
Yeah,
There was a
Tasha,
Twitch streamer. Yes.
tell
May I help
Evie to message me now, please.
Evie. Parker says message her.
I'm a him.
I know that, but shush.
But on some days, who knows? I gave birth to a child, so poor Affectional. He's like, who the are these motherfuckers?
Yeah, well,
plead the fifth.
wait, what?
What was that, Affectional?
I said I plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth. Yes.
That's right.
putting tips on.
Yes, we did get your message. So
Okay. But does Evie have her own account?
on Instagram, I think she was working on setting it up yesterday, but we were kind of falling asleep.
Set it up, or give me your cell phone number, or WhatsApp, or something, so I can talk to you without Tasha being all up in my business.
Oh, well, there's a thing.
No, you know what I mean. Like, it's nice to have separate, like,
Yes,
relationships.
I'm aware. I'm aware.
Like Mitch and I talk every now and then, and so on, and
Oh,
like, I don't even know what we talk about.
Well, now
What do we
my
talk-
cover's blown.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I was, like
Here, I thought we were all on the down low, and you're just putting me on blast.
all the dick. I tell you,
I mean, Parker,
all.
mean, you know
offensive-
that's a thing. So
Well, that's okay. I've got that screenshot. You're okay.
yeah, you got that screenshot. So yep, you got that screenshot. I just can't wait till this damn pen gets here because
Oh, you can't wait till that pen gets there.
yeah, bitch, I love you.
I can't wait to get to the US.
Yes, well, see, once you get to the U.S., there's a coffee house party waiting to happen. So,
Well, we're gonna have a good old cookout, like in the backyard. Whatever.
There
that
we go.
is. Is that a? Oh, it's a pen.
well, I can. Oh, it's that wherever or whatever.
yes,
By the
It's-
way, sorry.
a few days.
Pia,
Yes.
your dad is incredibly handsome.
Yes,
He gets his looks from me.
In this photo,
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my god, that is Pia.
That's
That is.
pretty dapper.
yeah,
Isn't that dapper?
Yeah,
like
he was
Just
straight styling.
like, yes, and his hair and he was just on point.
He his mother at that time, his mother owned the clothing store that my father later ran.
Well, Frederick told me about just some of the stores, like the 3 stores that she opened or your grandmother opened during the Great Depression, I believe.
First year of the Depression, she went from 1 store to 3 stores in that
And
1
then
year.
it went boom.
You know, it made me really sad was seeing all the artwork you were posting, Pure, with your dad's artwork on it, and the paint was peeling off.
I cried.
Well,
Legitimately, I was
It just
crying.
makes
I
me
was like,
sad to see stuff like that.
yes.
he used thinner.
It was the gesso coming off the canvas, right?
Well, it was thinner oil paint on top of a thicker oil paint background. So you can't put acrylic on top of oil. For
Yeah. Okay.
just
No, because eventually it's going to slide and it's going to crack.
But my father, yeah. Hold on. Yes. Oh, he might. I could ask when he gets here. I can ask. Okay. Here's some of more of my dad's pictures that he painted over the years.
Oh, that one's super cool.
This is called the cockfight. There are
I was about to say, is that a turkey or a chicken?
2 chickens. It's a cockfight, roosters. And then
Are you looking to sell those, or are they to be archived?
they could be sold at some point. We've got a lot of paintings that my dad did. More than we have room for
Right.
if we downsize.
So, just a quick question. You know how you went live on Instagram?
Yeah.
Were those gates? Is that's the house?
The gates.
Yes.
The gates at the end of the driveway are at the end of the driveway. There's actually, and they're cheap gates. There's nothing particularly fun about them, but we do have
But I was just like, oh, this bitch is in it. He got gates. But, you know, like I know a few things. Like I did a few digging and I was like, you know what? You, like, yeah, no function.
Malfunction junction.
But
Well,
Your
Malfunctioning
dad-
mind. That's okay, Parker.
yes. But I'm very impressed with you, Pierre.
well, there's a lot of cool stuff here. I'll give you a different.
You have to send me
tour.
photos.
What was that?
Send me photos
Okay.
because, like how you've been doing, but you know, of like obviously instead of photos, like maybe other things.
Okay.
But I'm happy with photos because I find them so adorable and it made me cry. So I was like, oh, my baby was that small at one stage, and then I'm like, oh, okay, teenage years, who cares?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me make another phone call here. Just a minute.
A phone call.
I don't know.
Mute yourself, Pia.
No, I don't.
Mute yourself.
Kids are cute and great when they're kids.
Oh, here
Once,
we go. This
once,
conversation.
once they hit teenagers, it's like, oh, just no. Save
Well,
me, save me
I've
the
got-
pain.
I've got a 15-year-old who is self-sufficient. You know, like he made his breakfast, he made his partner breakfast, and what's good is that the school bus stops at my, like literally out the front of my house, and so they get their
Good to go
backpack
then.
thing, and they are on the bus doing their thing, and it's just like, bye. I don't have to see you for a while, but bye. That was definitely an affectional giggle.
Yeah. That's all.
I
good.
got bad news for y'all.
You gotta
Yeah.
go
I
away.
gotta go make some food. I was hungry.
Okay. Well,
What
come
time-
over to my house. We're having mussels.
Muscle,
Sounds good.
like seafood,
I do like that, but
dead on the
Yep.
floor.
A friend of mine was going to pick me up and go out to dinner, and my Todd just told me, he said, "We'll have Kevin stay here, and we'll have mussels because he bought mussels for dinner, and they're going to go bad if we don't eat them. So
Yeah, well, that's time to eat them then, because now
Time. you don't want to not eat mussels when they're ready." So
All I know is that I'm allergic.
I'm not inviting you, so you don't.
you're apparently allergic to being on boats as well, from what I
Invite you
recall.
if you weren't allergic to mussels.
Well, hold on. Whoa. Reverse. Affectional just said to me, Pia, that
Yeah.
I am also allergic to being on boats / I guess yachts.
Allergic on boats. Yes, you said you would be willing to go on a boat with Russell and me.
there you go.
I didn't know that.
That was
This
something
happened last
Well,
night.
well,
that was on an earlier.
motion sickness, Parker, sucks.
You'll get over it. I'll just push you overboard and you'll be fine. You'll be in the water.
Yeah, no, I would drown from throwing up. Just saying.
Oh, easy
Yeah.
disposal.
We couldn't load you up with enough Dramamine to survive, or
No, I have Meniere's disease, which is like inner ear thing. So
yeah, I've heard of that before.
It
Vertigo.
sucks. There's no moment of any day that I don't walk around feeling like I have a buzz drunk.
Right.
It sucks.
I had something similar when I was about, 14, 15 years old. But it was a temporary thing due to like a sinus infection, and my inner ears were totally screwed
Yeah.
up.
It's the same. It's the same.
And I just wanted to
Okay.
like put my head down and just keep the world from spinning at all times.
Well,
It's like your world breaking here.
My world is falling apart here.
I-
Food
I have-
unit. Sniff their fingers, please. Okay, I'll do the crease of their ears. Sounds like a fun idea.
I was
Yeah.
just about to crease my play with my piercing. That's odd. But I was gonna say, I don't know what I was gonna say.
How about I
What
pick my nose on camera and flick it?
No,
too?
dude.
I fall asleep, so
Anything is possible.
Anything is
All right,
possible.
y'all. I'm gonna jump
Okay.
out of here.
Goodbye, effects Denali.
Take it
Well,
easy.
Bye-bye.
Good.
Bye
have
bye.
a good day.
It's good to see you, Parker.
Yes, likewise. Likewise. Been a long time.
Right. All right. Later.
Bye.
Oh,
Woo!
now we're suddenly bigger
And three-sided. There we go.
How are you, Schroeder?
I am good. I am better today now that I'm not waiting on worrying if my United States Post Office screwed off
okay.
mail.
And okay.
I'm just like, because everybody got theirs, and I'm sitting here waiting, going, did my local post office screw up again? But they're good at
Todd?
that.
Todd,
And
God.
your hatchback is
Todd, TOD.
I don't know
Oh,
if you
God.
wanted it to be.
Oh, hi, Harley.
How's Evie?
Evie's good. She's sitting over there watching the stream.
I'll tell Evie I say hello and that I send my.
Yes, she knows. Yes,
Is she watching the stream?
yes, she is. She is currently blushing, so yeah, we're good. Oh, God.
She's about to blush more.
Oh, my. Kitty cat is attacking me and deciding I don't need the skin on my shoulders anymore. Oh, Lord.
So I've got to text Pia. I'd rather text him than where are you? Pia.
I'm right here.
Oh yeah, but I want to text you like sensitive information. That's why.
Sensitive information.
Sensitive information considering this channel. Okay. Yes.
We have a gate on our property, not so much for
Yeah, too.
quote security reasons. It's more we have a fence going around the whole yard because we have deer
Oh,
in the area, and the deer come up and eat all of my dad's plants.
Well, shoot it and eat it for dinner.
He put this gate around this fence around the whole yard, and the gate at the driveway
okay. We need to be reglued.
may be ostentatious to some. It was originally put up for the deer, but we did have recently a interloper in the
Enjoying flowers.
well, a human interloper that was suspicious. So we now have a padlock on the gate as well
Yeah.
to make it even look even more.
Yeah. Well, houses that don't have a lot of activity, you get people who's like, oh, I wonder what I can run in there and steal and make a buck off from, especially in, COVID times. It's kind of bad.
I just have to what I need to do now though is just
I just got to get a new battery for it because it died.
hold
Oh,
on
cute.
just a minute.
Very pink. Very pretty. But the battery died. Oh, God, Cat, I know you want food. I'll give you food in a little bit. Quit tripping. I, okay. I've got a pocket knife here on this desk somewhere. And I know it's here because I just used it to fix the pins on the back of a CPU yesterday.
Ooh, you know what you need to use is that you use tweezers.
Yeah, no, pocket knife worked easier. I tried tweezers and it's like the pins were just too fine.
Or you use it's called a comedone, and it's for what is popping pimples. And because it has a little hole in it, you can actually, go over like the spike, and you can kind of pull it gently.
Oh, well, this was like 8 pins that were shoved sideways, all exactly the same amount, and
Is this Intel or AMD?
Ryzen, AMD Ryzen.
Oh, who cares?
What? Yeah, who cares about Intel? Every computer in this house. Okay, I can't say every computer in this house has an AMD because the laptop that I got from Mom a year ago has an i7 in it. So whatever. But every other computer has a Ryzen in it. This computer is an 8-core. Hers is a 16.
I don't know what mine is. Mine is a 8-core Intel Core i7 running at 1.4 gigahertz.
Oh, that's all.
32 gigabytes of RAM.
Well,
because that's the maximum you can do on because I have a MacBook Pro, and so that I went for the highest specs.
Yeah. Well,
but the one thing
that's just Apple.
I missed out. I have 128 gig of SSD. I skimmed over that because I wanted a terabyte, and I just skimmed, and all the solid state, drive is sold onto the board.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't replace them anymore. You used to be able to, but nowadays, yeah, it's like no. I don't know, what was it, France or Italy? One of the two just passed law that Apple has to make their products sold in that country repairable.
New York's been fighting for that for a very long time.
Yeah, the multiple states in the United States have been fighting for that for a long time.
Well, I think if a country does it fully, they might.
Yep.
The thing is, I could go to New Jersey.
Either France or Italy just did. One of the two. I heard it on news yesterday. So,
I think too that they should offer free adapter plugs, power plugs.
Oh, adapter plugs, big.
For why can't my 16 prong work? Or whatever. Why? It's just power. How difficult can it be? I mean, is it difficult? I don't know. I'm not a computer person, but is there a reason why?
I'll be back in 1 minute.
Okay.
Momento.
Okay, fine. I'm just wondering whether is there a reason why?
They went to dongles because they removed certain ports, and they removed the ports that everyone needed, and it was another way of them making money through dongle. They're $79 each, just so you can have one singular USB plug go straight to go.
Exactly. It's like spend $150 or $200 in dongles just so you can get done what you need to get done. It's like just put the damn ports back on the board and move on. It's like every other laptop in the fucking world has them.
Or
why not Apple?
Supply the dongle for free.
Exactly. Okay. No. Well, luckily I don't have much water in my cup, so it didn't go everywhere. But still. And yes, here I am. When I wrote with these two pens, I instantly fell in love.
Good. Well, I'm so happy.
There was absolutely no question in my mind. I instantly fell in love.
Oh, good.
Um,
There are so many more flexible or broader and more flexible. There's so
yeah,
variety. Is Skiva singing or who's singing?
I think Schiavello is, but yeah,
He's
these two,
yeah,
I'm like, this one I love.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, if I'm gonna pocket carry a vintage fountain pen, this would actually be the one.
yeah, good.
And it's kind of bulletproof. It's fairly stiff. If someone picks it up to write with it, they're not gonna just go splat and ruin it.
Well, because it's really a fine nib, and if it's at all a slow starter, they might press down too hard.
So Pia, this is all my dongles.
Yeah,
Like okay.
a lot of dongles.
Dongles are what you plug in to the new plug that Apple has told you you're gonna use.
Yeah,
So this one is an HDMI with a lightning adapter, so charging.
yeah,
And this plugs into my phone so I can put my phone onto a TV.
yeah,
What's next? This one is a HDMI adapter for my old laptop.
yeah,
It's a dongle.
yeah,
Then we've got another VGA, which
Yeah.
is for older monitors with a charging port, and that's for my phone.
yeah.
If I want to say something on television. And then this one is ready for this. This is going to be a throwback for y'all and maybe
Yeah.
Pia. This is a Firewire
Yeah.
800 dongle with, like I had to use it because I had a Firewire drive.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so I've got dongles.
And now FireWire is basically nothing more than USB-C. So whatever.
No,
Yeah.
Firewire is 800
Sort of.
megabits.
Well, then USB-C has it beat.
USB-C is 6 gigabits and
Yeah.
high. And then, with Apple, you got
Or,
Thunderbolt.
excuse me, Thunderbolt, not FireWire. Thunderbolt is basically switching over to USB-C.
Yeah. Thunderbolt is 40 gigabits both ways.
Yeah.
Pia's like, what the fuck we talking about?
Tech geek, sorry. I mean, okay, in my group of friends, the two people that everybody comes to for fix tech problem broke is me and my roommate. So it's like,
Well, that's me. Like, my mom's like, you need to book me a ticket to here. And I'm like, okay, are you going to pay me?
let's just put her on a plane and go with it.
Well, yeah.
Choose your mom.
Well, I need to charter a flight. I need to make sure the flight's available. And make sure the pilots are available. Things are going to happen.
It's like, she's your mom. You're supposed to take care of her.
Rent can be paid if needed. If not, it can be an investment.
Well, roommate, once he starts working, rent can be paid, but that covers half utilities. So
That was
whatever.
directed here, but sure, both.
It's like it covers half the utilities. It's like, I'm not okay. You're renting a room. You're paying $500 a month because whatever. The hell no.
But yeah, are you really enjoying yourself there?
So far,
Because I do worry about you.
the gist of it was kind of sad to see strangers packing up all sorts of stuff to go to
Yeah.
to be dried out and looked at and
Cleaned.
assessed. And I was, they grabbed a picture that I had drawn in high school that was framed.
Oh,
And they were saying, well, what is this worth? And I said, well, I don't think it's worth anything now. But at the time when I made it, I probably was worth $100, which, back then was a lot of money. And we might have paid $100 to get it framed. Maybe not,
Yeah.
70 something dollars to frame it. And there's also a lot of things that my father had painted. There's a lot of things I had done. There's things my mother had painted.
yeah.
And things that were being packed away to be appraised for insurance value or cleaned off of their mold that they might have gotten. But the whole thing was just interesting because there were things that I haven't looked at in 30 years or 40 years in some cases. And so I was going down memory lane, and some of the memories were good and some of them were indifferent. But it's been interesting. And then seeing the pictures that I posted that my grandmother had of my father when he was a boy were cute and fun to see. And
Agreed.
and so it's this interesting memory lane thing going on. And there are a lot of things after my father died a year and a half ago, we were looking through a lot of letters he wrote my mother and when he was in Korea. And they included, we never looked at these before. They were always in a box. And, it wasn't letters to me. It was letters to my, I think that it was really valuable for me to look at the time. And my father at one point was saying how he should just throw them all away. But I'm glad that he didn't do that because there's some beautiful drawings in there too, which I posted on his, he has an Instagram page, I think, that I had for him, Wells Gustafson, and you might see some of the drawings that he did there, and they're really quite lovely. So there's a lot of emotions happening, yeah. But Wells Gustafson, let me just see, view profile. Oh, there's a picture there's really not many things here. I guess I had meant to add more and I didn't, but maybe I could. No, I don't know if I have access to it anymore. But if you look under Wells Gustafson on Instagram, you'll see some of the drawings that he did that we posted. But there's some really nice ones he did while in the Army. I don't know.
Oh my!
I don't know where I put them, but the mask, the very first one you see, is actually stuff I did, but everything below that is his. It might be under the ones that he did in the Army might be under my Facebook page. But they're beautiful, beautiful drawings. And where did I put them? I remember a lot of them were folded up on tracing paper, and I unfolded them. I wonder if I have them here. Just a minute. Let's see if I can find them.
So how are you, Tasha?
I am okay. Would have been better if I would have actually slept more, but
I haven't slept in
That
almost
happens.
8
Or it's
hours.
just me sleeping too long.
28 hours I've been awake, and I just had my medication, and I am probably going to fall asleep on the stream.
Don't do that. Hey, if you're gonna fall asleep, just go to sleep.
Okay.
There you go. You're not gonna fall asleep. I mean, let's call you on Instagram. It's like, hey, wake up. Yeah. You're all cute when you fall asleep, though. Just saying. Oh, yeah, get over it. Can't see someone tell me you're cute. Okay, handsome.
I mean, Tasha's not wrong.
See?
Hold on, who said that?
Ah,
Wait. Just
oh, God, that just made her so totally blush.
That's
My-
what it usually does.
my dinner friend is here, so maybe we'll sign. I'm going to sign off now, but I might sign on when we're having our muscle.
Okay.
So you can join us for dinner, all of you people.
Okay,
So
cool, cool.
talk with you later.
All right, bye,
Bye.
bye, Pierre.